Hey my lovely people, how are you doing today? Hope you're doing fine. Now, one of the followers that I have is outside of the UAE. He told me to make a video about the accommodation types in the UAE now. Unlike in Canada, unlike in the US, where people have, accommodation styles like, condos, apartments, basements and stuff like that. The UAE is a bit different. You hardly see basements, okay, where people reside or sleep, and pay at the end of the month or at the start of each month. In the UAE, these are the main accommodation setups that we do have, okay, for residents as well as the expats that are living and working in the UAE. Now, number one, those loaded people, the loaded fellas who have enough money, they are usually renting or owning apartments. Okay, now what does that mean? Apartments come with a different setup, including like a studio apartment whereby it's one room which is self-contained. Okay, then we have a 1 BHK, we have 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 4 BHK, and so many others depending on the budget. Okay, that's one type of accommodation that's very common in the UAE. Now, the other one is a villa. Okay, villa apartment. A villa is also a form of apartment, but it can be owned by one person who has enough money, or it can be owned by multiple people of whom each one owns or rents a different room within that same villa. Okay, you're sharing sometimes the common space, you're sharing maybe the living room, you're sharing the parking, you're sharing the entrance or the main gate, but it can be owned by one person, or can be rented by one person or a couple of people of whom each one owns a room inside that villa. Now, the most common ones which are affordable to many expats, especially for my friends from Asia, Africa and stuff like that, we are used to Bedspaces and Partitions. What's the difference? A bedspace is like most of the rooms you see behind me. All these have Bedspaces as well as Partitions. Now, a bedspace is basically a room, okay, one room. It can be like a studio room or a 1 BHK apartment, whereby in a specific room, in one room, they put multiple beds or decker beds or bunker beds within that same room. Okay, literally segregated or separated by nothing. It could be only curtains or even no curtains at all, whereby people live and stay there. Okay, that's a bed.